What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great night. It has been a real crap day here, but an extremely long day. I'm ready to sit down, talk some effing birds with you. I snuck in a couple of videos throughout the day. My God, the trip home, took a couple stops, was like, I'm going to better download some pictures here, be ready for tomorrow. I didn't really do that, dude. This morning, it was insane for me. So try to get some news out to you. You guys know I posted that yesterday, but wanted to make some breakdowns for you. So you guys that are sickos that want to know every single detail about these players, what the Eagles roster looks like, their numbers, all that stuff. So go check those videos out. If you missed them, we talked about, the players we signed, the players we cut. So go check those bad boys out. But we'll be talking about all of those things tonight. Went to the practice last night. Was hopeful to meet some of you. Clearly, Drew, my man, was texting with you. Oh, my God. It definitely did not turn out the way I thought it would. Got a nice surprise. Went to visit my brother, went to his cabin, and my grandparents were there up from Florida. So that was nice. Had a nice long talk with my pop. Got to talk with my grand, my aunt, my mom, my brother. It was a great time spent with my lovely lady. But things really just got chaotic and ended up having to go to my brother's house first, then going to the stadium. Didn't even get there till like 7. And dude, I've never quite a turnaround this team has had. There was like 50,000 plus people there, man. It was insane. So I had to sit higher up because I definitely wasn't there at a good time. And it really sucked because I was hopeful to meet some of you there, but clearly didn't go down like that. But you guys all know, I tell you, I tailgate every damn home game. And the ones I don't go to, I will let you know. But Lottie, I will always be there. And I look forward to meeting a lot of you, seeing a lot of you again. But I was lucky to make it in time, watch the practice, enjoy the hell out of it. I think maybe it was better for me to be up higher, right? Sitting on my perch, the eagle that I am, and watching it rather than, being up front, yelling shit, going crazy. Even though I was still up there, having a good time, it was, it was still a great time. I enjoyed it. I got to spend time with my family, my brother, my woman, and my brother's sister-in-law and her husband, Bird, my man, and their kid. It was a great time. We really had a great time. I was hopeful to get to, all of you for sure. But Drew, my dude, and a big shout out to Drew. Got some great news here. He's been getting all kinds of great news, man. And let's all give it up for him because that is a man that totally deserves every ounce of that good stuff right there. So, my man, you keep on grinding, you keep on building, and you and your family continued success. We are all hoping and praying and wishing upon you, man. So, keep going. Glad to hear you had a good time. Safe travels. It was nice talking to you, at least on the phone a little bit. Tried texting you while I was in the stadium. You probably weren't getting my damn texts because I know how that goes. Trust me. I've had my source texting me while at the Linc and missed his text. So trust me, he pissed me off. But I took some notes here, man. You know how excited I am about this team, but I got to take a gander up close and personal. And look, to me, I still have this team winning the Super Bowl. I still have us building a dynasty here. I think it's excitement in the air. So let's go. I think the fans are on board with that, as I saw last night. But I want to hear what you fans at home, all you sickos, what you have on your mind. But this was the 7th day of practice, open to the public. So let's effing go. Let's get this thing started. If you were there, let me know. Did you have a good time? What'd you see? What's going on in your mind? How do you think this season's going to go? Love to hear your thoughts on this one. But let me jump over here to the comments. Linda, appreciate you tuning in. Good evening to you as well. Hope you had a great weekend. If you were able to go, hope you enjoyed. Hopefully, if not, you were able to catch up on some things, see some things. If not, hopefully I can give that to you right now. But appreciate you taking that time. Hope you're having a great night here. Great start to the week. And Liz in the building. Let's go. Gave you a shout out on those videos earlier talking about, look, you brought it up. You asked the weakest link on Fan Friday, this past Friday, and it was a great question. We broke it down, and as much as, as I said, as much as I'd love to trade for Patrick Queen, signing a veteran is probably the more likely route. We go ahead and grab the two guys we've been talking about. So how crazy is that? So let's go. But appreciate you with the assist. I'm going to just put it right in here. Boom. I really think that, this team is proven over and over again, and I've said it every offseason, like, let's stay patient here because we'll see where the weak links are, where injuries happen, things happen, where then you start adding people. Well, we add 2 veterans here, and that's what we talked about. We've got young guys, so let's add some veteran experience. And, well, we did just that, and I'm all about it, and we're going to break all that stuff down. So appreciate you taking the time tonight. Was hoping it wasn't too late for some of you. But it has just been chaos. I didn't get home until 2 a.m. last night. It's just been, dude, and it was like torrential downpour. I was driving like Mamaw Jenkins, dude, going as slow as I possibly could. And I found out today that there was like an insane wreck, like where I was driving. And I'm grateful that I was definitely because, dude, it was pretty rough out there. But, yo, from Cali, let's effing go. George, my man, love to hear that. I love, hearing across the country. In another country, all these things. I was just talking to my mom about this at the cabin, and it was just like, dude, it's unreal that you guys are tuning in all over the place. I love, the internet, social media. Sure, there can be bad things out there, but using it for good, connecting, sharing that brotherly love, that's what it's all about. So go effing birds, my man George. Appreciate you taking the time and let everybody know the Eagles mean business this damn season. And I think we've all been doing our part to let others know. And I have been doing my best to sail this ship forward and yonder. We're going to just destroy everyone. And I'll keep repeating that. And I truly feel that we are building a dynasty here. And I've broken it down extensively. And I will continue to do so throughout this all season until they all get on board, and I promise you they will be repeating the things I've said. So let's go. Let's get excited. Appreciate you taking the time. Who do you think about trading a penny? Call Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I wish this were like Mad Men. A lot of people have said they want to trade for Patrick Queen and get Buda Baker and all these. And it's like, look, bro, I totally understand that. But, that's why I make those breakdowns. And luckily for you, Tevin, there is a video on Jonathan Taylor not too long ago. And there's guys like Patrick Queen. And, when DeAndre Hopkins was a free agent, I used to avoid that stuff because it's like, look, this isn't going to happen. But I thought, why not explain it, show how the money works and the draft picks and why, you wouldn't do something like that. But look, I love it. Yeah, sure. But we're not going to pay a running back just like we didn't pay Miles Sanders. So it is what it is, man. I think we're pretty stacked at running back, though, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit here. DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, and Trey Sermon. Oh, and Kennedy Brooks is there, too. But let's go, my man. Twisted in the building. Let's ride. Powder, let's go. Enjoyed your movie when I was a child. Hope you're doing well. I'm just busting your balls if you've ever seen it. It's a weird movie. I vaguely remember it as a kid, but let's go. Appreciate you guys taking the time. I'm telling you, I'm running on fumes here. So whatever comes out of my mouth, just bear with me here. But yeah, man, something I've broken down extensively. Go check out the day we drafted him where I talk about that, talk about a pre-draft where I feel this is the Micah Parsons that we add to this roster. And we did just that. But, getting someone like Nolan Smith, what he adds to a defense, and I know a lot of people hate the multiple scheme defense last couple of years, but I love it. And I think that getting these versatile pieces like him, he's just like Hassan Reddick, right? So, but he's going to be even crazier. But the same kind of deal where he's an edge rusher that drops into coverage, does certain things, but you also can use him as an off-ball linebacker at times. And the same goes for Kyron Johnson, one of the depth pieces here. So, yes, I still feel that we're going to do that, and you've actually seen it now happening at practice. So just doing my best to break things down and try to get people on board, and I see the media surprised by it, and it's like, well, we were talking about that 3 months ago, but sure, surprise. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He is a stud. So great question there, Powder, but yeah, we're going to see Nolan Smith all over the place. Even if he's not a starter at edge rusher or off-ball linebacker, he's going to get reps at both, and he is going to see the field because he is a weapon. And let's go. So good question, and appreciate you tuning in, dude. Crazy how we talk to you. Right? Here we go. Howie. And Liz, what do I tell you guys? If you want somebody, you're feeling an urge that we should trade for somebody, just tell me, and I'll make a video about it, and I'll say that that's what we're going to do. So I'm just busting your balls, but it does kind of seem weird the last 3 years that literally everyone we talk about kind of just gets signed or traded or drafted. It's like, all right, well, Miss Cleo here. I think that's who I'm going as for Halloween this year. I might as well, right? But hey, you guys keep hooking me up with this stuff. I'll just keep doing my best to provide that content. And we'll just keep hoping that it happens, right? So let's go Birds, my man E-Money in here. You guys, all right. I'm loving it because here's the fact of the matter. It's past 10 o'clock on a Monday, and a lot of times you don't know how that's going to go, but you guys are always tuning in, sharing that love for the Birds, and I can't thank you enough. Let's rock and roll. Want to hear what your thoughts are, but I'm going to get into this here in a second, but you guys are piling in the chat, and I love it. I love every second of it, dude. Yo, dude, good questions, very good questions, and appreciate you tuning in. Thoughts on Trey, the running back? I'm going to get into that in a second here. And Trey, I'll just tell you now, look, to me, he's on the outside looking in. Boston Scott provides something in the special teams area, but if some other guys can step up, like Rashad Penny, like I've been asking for, a kick returner who finally did it the other day, let's go. I think that Rashad, what I was just saying, sorry guys, I know that was crazy, but Rashad Penny finally getting kick return duties the other day started. So, we've been asking about that for a while. So maybe that makes Boston Scott expendable, but Trey Sermon, they've been talking him up, but they do that a lot of times, whether or not they actually like him or they're trying to trade him or they're just trying to give him confidence. We don't know. But, he's a third round pick for a reason. He's got talent. If we can get it, let's go. If he's the fourth running back, all right, somebody gets hurt, something happens, I'm okay with it. But, we're going to use those top three. And Boston, he's just a jack of all trades. I love the dude. But if one of these guys is tradable, maybe, that I mentioned with Trey, maybe you do that because you've got a plethora of them and they all look pretty good. And it might be a damn tough decision, but didn't see enough where I was like wowed by Trey Sermon yesterday. But then again, I was up high, so it was weird. Like I could see everything. I was like, I was tracking everybody down, dude. It was nuts. I'm like, who the hell's 46 and 47? And I'm like, oh my God, Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham are there. And it's like, dude, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, man, there was a lot, but I didn't have too much on him. But other than the fact that, we're going to talk about the running backs here in a second, but Hurts, number 3, that's my code. Yeah. On the top 100. I saw that. Yeah. I just posted that for you guys. You can go check the YouTube, Twitter, any of these down here. You guys can see that all posted to keep you up to date with everything, but yes, indeed. So look, to me, he was either number 2 or 1, but hey, that's fine. Number 3 will do. MVP runner up though. So that's kind of second to me, but that's fine. Just as long as he goes and wins that Super Bowl, I think he'll go get himself an MVP as well. But yeah, those are the most laughable lists. These just ridiculous. Seeing Devontae Smith down there, and yes, it is his 25th birthday. Love to see it, my man. And that was something I was almost brought a tear to my eye yesterday, seeing people, because you guys know I was out there by myself most of the time. And there was only a few people cheering with me, and it was just so much negativity, and it was just. Yesterday was completely different. It was like, this is all I've been asking for. And this is what I predicted. So it was just like sitting there, just watching over everyone, watching. Yeah, cheered. It was like, this is what I was trying and to promise, that what was coming our way. Here we are, baby. We did make it to the Super Bowl. Now we didn't finish the job, unfortunately. But this year, we're going to let them bring up so you can't make it back to a Super Bowl. Oh, really? You're about to find out. Don't care what the past, what's happened. I really don't. I think your ability to interpret the salary cap actually gives you an advantage to your approach to getting ahead of Mr. Roseman. So I think not speculative at all. Exactly, Linda. And I appreciate that. That's something I actually just talked about. I'm not sure which show that was, but I was explaining, I'm actually trying to make this, educated in the sense that I show you what I'm doing, how I come to these conclusions. When I made the video about Hassan Reddick, about James Bradbury, Kaiser White, about why we should draft Jordan Davis, it's, obviously the cap has nothing to do with draft picks. Well, that's not true because I have all those numbers and I always throw it in there because I'm a psycho. But when we talk about the draft, I'm breaking down what I see. My analysis, I take it for what you will. If you want to take the people that never get anything right, then that's, everyone has their own choice who they want to trust in. But it's like I break things down that I think are going to happen because I look at it through the lens of Howie Roseman. That's how I try to see it. And you guys got all your jokes. I look like him. One of you said I sound like him when I'm talking like normal and quiet. I'm like, that's ridiculous. You guys are going a little too far. Hilarious. But that's literally, I'm just trying to see how he sees it. And it's like you have to look into the future at your draft picks, at your cap space, at what's going on, how the cap works. Like if you understand that stuff, it gives you big advantage into how these things work. That's how I'm able to be like, yeah, we're not signing that person. We're not trading for this person because look at what their contract entails. And this if you restructure or if you extend, this is what the money will be. I always try to give you guys as much information as you can possibly handle and make you the smartest person in the room. I want you to be able to, your own show. You see how many shows, how many people use this information. That's what I'm trying to do. Change the game. That's what I set out to do years ago. That's what we've been doing, man. You see how many people talking about the cap now. Things, it's like, thank you. I couldn't take it, man. I just couldn't take the negativity, and it's out of ignorance. It's like, we ain't doing that. So if other people don't want to educate, that's what I'm going to try to do. So really appreciate you saying that. Glad you enjoy it, and just doing my best out here. But do you think, yeah, and I mentioned that, Twisted, I thought you were part of that show there where, talking about that. Look, if Zentner and Zippos are sucking it up, which they were yesterday, got to add somebody. All right, so let me get into these real quick. Yes, indeed he was. Some things were going down. So let me jump into these before I just never get to. So yesterday, here are some of the notes, and I will continue to all of your comments and questions in a second. But just in case anybody's tuning in, they're probably like, what? So at this point, Dean Bradbury, Patrick Johnson on the defense did not practice. Deion Kane on the offense did not practice. On the offense, when Kelsey and Lane were out, you had Juergens and Steen there. It's center, right guard. Driscoll was right tackle. I love that. Just that's the future there. Not necessarily Driscoll, right tackle, but love him. He'll be here around for a while. Beautiful. Hurts, I mean, let's just be real here. He's a truly magical man. And again, seeing people finally on board with him, I was leading the way for years, getting people on board. And it's like to see that, I'm proud of him, dude. And it's like, but to see the work I put in, and people just, the masses went against me. And it was like, I'm standing firm in what I believe in my analysis. And bro, to sit there and watch people do exactly what you tell them they're going to have to do when they demand, you're wrong, it's the war, you can't develop. And then you see them all changing their effing Twitter names. Hurts is the God. And, they're all dedicating their lives to him. It's like, bro, I mean, you didn't have to go that far, but told you. Oh, I loved it. I loved every second. But Jalen Hurts, he threw one touchdown pass, and at one point, my phone was being an ass bag at the whole time. Every time I tried to go live, wouldn't let me text. It was driving me nuts. A couple what I thought went through, but I don't know, who knows, whatever. But then I finally was like, I'm just going to record one. And wouldn't you know it, it's right when they're in a red zone drill with like 8 seconds, or they're down to 8 with like 40 some seconds or something like that. So I happened to catch Hurts' only touchdown pass, and now 11 on 11s wasn't that long. It's practice. Who cares? He didn't throw interceptions, didn't get hurt. That's whatever. You know what I mean? Even if you do an interception, I don't care. That's what this time is for, to learn. But let's take a gander, because I actually got that on video. So, ho-ho, enjoy.
On AJ?
Let's go. Got it on camera. Let's go.
Touchdown, AJ Brown.
See if they show the replay.
The Eagles offense will go for
2. G-L-E-S, Eagles! Love it. So, as you can see, at that point, that was like right near, near the end-ish. But it was truly beautiful. People were losing their minds like the whole time. It was, man, what an intense showing. I got to see some of the videos running in the gates. Clearly, I wasn't there in time for that part. But, oh, man, truly beautiful. But let me go through some of those notes, because Hurts had a great time. Goddard, Smith, Brown, that was AJ you saw catching it, but they all had a great time. Joseph Nada, I mentioned it in video earlier, and I've been talking about him every damn training camp video. Really like this undrafted kid, and he looked pretty good. I don't know if it was because I was like looking at him every time he was out there, but it wasn't every time. But when I was, he seemed to be doing something good. Seems like a strong kid, big-bodied, 6'2". Just the way he's, as a young man, undrafted kid, the way he's using his body when he's not catching the ball. When he is catching the ball, same thing, But I really like this kid. And with him providing that return ability, if we don't keep, a 5th, 6th receiver, he doesn't make the squad. I'm hopeful that he is on the practice squad. Really like Joseph Nada a lot. Swift, he just looked awesome every time I saw him. He's so quick. And every time I see him catch the ball, I'm like, I'm telling you, it's going to be a big part of this offense, the passing attack, getting it to the running back, not just the tight end and the amazing wide receivers we have. We're not just going to be pounding the rock down their throats. The running backs will be able to catch the ball too. So let's go. Also had Mariota had the crowds going nuts. He had me kind of pissed off a couple of times, but I think that, it's all in good fun. I think I'm putting paint on myself. I can't get it off. I got to get some like gas or some of that orange. Anyways, Agent Orange, whatever. So Mariota, he had some scrambles, had people freaking out. He had a touchdown pass to Rashad Penny. We were just talking about there. So there were some good things. But look, he's a backup. I hope we don't have to see him until the last couple of games when we've already clinched the NFC and he's playing because the games are meaningless. But he's a good backup to have. This is the 8th system he is learning in his 9 years. So we talked about that with Jalen Hurts, how last year when I tried to tell everyone how he would develop, and it was, he could never. And it's like, well, let's see what he does with the same system back-to-back years, right? That helps a lot. It's hard to learn a new system. And it was the first time for Jalen Hurts since high school. So you see what happened. He developed his skills. He didn't have to learn a new playbook. But right now, Marcus Mariota is learning a new playbook. And you're ironing things out, and he's not a starter. People just look for things to complain about out there, and I see people, we got to trade big Carson Wentz. I'm like, all right, dude, let's simmer down. Marcus Mariota is perfect backup. He's got the skill set to fit this offense. I'm fine with it. Jalen Hurts is going to stay healthy, have an MVP season, win the Super Bowl for us. We don't need him other than week, maybe 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, when the games are meaningless. Okay, let's ride. Now, Josh Sills was there practicing, so he was acquitted. We talked about that. Check that video out as well. All the signees, as I had mentioned earlier, they were all there. So that's pretty cool. Found out about it in the car ride. Zach Cunningham, Miles Jack, the guys we talked about, Josh Andrews earlier. So pretty cool that they were all there. Obviously, they knew what was going on. They were invited. Clearly, they didn't tell us right away. Thank you, Howie. Of course, you make sure that I'm on the road. Then when I get home, I have 2 shows to make before the one show I want to make. Appreciate you. But go check those videos out. They're not live, but try to make them quick and give you the information that you need on all 3 of the players we signed, the 2 we let go, and the updated look at each of those positions, all 3 of them, offensive line, linebacker, and wide receiver. Now, let's keep her moving. Miles Jack, yes, I thought that was awesome. Go check those videos out. I already just said that. Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter. Oh, yeah. And everybody keeps asking me because I think this is something the media just found out. So now everybody's finding out that Nolan Smith is very fast, elusive defensive, lineman that can play linebacker. He's our Micah Parsons, right? That's what we talked about pre-draft. And, it's always, you guys know how annoyed, and I'm not trying to, whatever, who cares? But each year I got to sit here and wait for months and months for them to talk about the things that have been happening, like Nolan Smith. Just like when they didn't know we ran odd fronts for the last couple of years. It's like, all right, dude, all right, what are you guys watching then if you don't know what we're doing? That concerns me. Whatever. They're learning Nolan Smith is a 4.3, speed edge rusher that, does all kinds of stuff. And that's something we've talked about. Same with Kyron Johnson. And this defense, those kind of guys, that's what you need. They both have experience. So that's what they're going to do. And I cannot wait to see it. I really can't. Jalen Carter, eating souls. I only saw a couple things where I was like, yeah, but I'm so excited about him and Jordan Davis. I know a lot of people hated this defense last couple. Look, I just want everyone to get on board. I'm hopeful. It seems like a lot of people are getting there. I'm telling you, get on board with this multiple scheme defense. Just let the hate aside and get with the side, because I'm telling you, this stuff is about to get rowdy. We're about to break that sack record. We're going to be number 1 against the pass again. And I really just think we're going to dominate on defense. I think we're going to be top 3 offense and defense. And I think we could be number 1 in each. Just throwing it out there, man. Just throwing it out there. But Sidney Brown, he's an animal. Just as I let you know before the draft why we needed to draft him, we're seeing it live in action. I was like, yes. I kept pointing him. I'm like, there it is. Not like everyone didn't know. You could see they're like, yeah, dude, we know the guy with his shirt halfway rolled up, like with the long hair. We know. You like the guy with the long hair. We get it. And it's like, no, dude, not just because he has long hair, but there are a lot of Eagles players with long hair. Pretty cool. I'm down. But this dude, he's just a freak, man. And we talked about his versatility, how you can move him all over the place. And I'm telling you, Eagles fans are going to love him. And I've already seen it. It's starting to happen. And it's like, this is what I'm saying, man. Just doing my best. And a lot of people get mad that I try to explain that. It's like, this is really weird. Get on board. Let's get excited. No more getting upset. Let's get pumped, man. This is what this is about. Let's spread that brotherly love. And man, and I just want to say, I heard somebody didn't come to the open practice because they thought something was going to happen because they got my Twitter suspended. Look, dude, I would never harm any of you. Like, that's wild to not come to a practice and because no one would come with you and you were afraid. That's terrible, man. And next time you use that as a lesson to not bark up trees, you shouldn't be. But no, man, I don't care about social media like that. I do care when people wish ill on me and then get my Twitter suspended because they're upset still about Jalen Hurts developing. Look, man, that's weirdo little kid stuff. Please leave my channel and me alone and the sickos so we can enjoy some Eagles. But that's really weird, man. Don't not go to practices and games and stuff, dude. Like, don't do that. That's embarrassing. But anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. That's wild. But speaking of defensive backs, Mekhi Gardner. Now, this dude, he'll knock you right out, dude. This kid has been coming out here hitting people. And who was it? I think it was now I can't remember. I want to say Brooks, but I don't know. But he hit somebody, and we've talked about this. Maybe a move to safety for someone like him. He's got the versatile skill set. He's done it at LSU. I think that's something, when we signed him as an undrafted free agent, we talked about. He's been showing it, and we're loaded at defensive back. But if you could prove, I could play safety too, maybe. I don't know. You find yourself on the practice squad, but I think he's good enough that somebody could claim him. So that's could be a tough situation. Let's see how the preseason goes. But you got Christian Ellis and Sean Bradley starting as the first-team linebackers. Nakobe Dean obviously not practicing. But then Ben Van Sumeren got some reps at linebacker 1. Notice I didn't say Nicholas Morrow. So we talked about Cunningham, Jack being brought in with Morrow, the veteran pieces to go up against some of these younger guys, and Ellis, Bradley, and Ben Van Sumeren. And Van Sumeren getting those first-team reps is cool. We talk about his freakish athleticism, and a guy like that, if you can coach him up, you never know what diamond in the rough. So let's hope now that there's only one cut down that we can see something. And if you do, you don't want to be, we've let so many people go that it's just like, you watch him go be star somewhere. It's like, dude, let's not do that. Kyron Johnson mentioned him playing off-ball linebacker, but he's one of those guys that's an edge rusher that can also. So when you have that guy that can provide you depth at 2 areas, then you don't need to keep 2 guys at those positions, right? So Kyron Johnson, talk about him. He's got that 4.3 speed at edge rusher. So another guy, this is how I'm able to break down the draft and tell you, see, it's the same deal with the cap. If you look ahead, if you see what they're looking for, makes it easier. But hey, what do I know? Now, I love Kyron Johnson. Just want to throw that out there. Had him making it over Patrick Johnson. So Patrick Johnson banged up. We'll see. Not supposed to be serious. That's great after being carted off. So we'll see. Josh Jobe, more first-team reps. Talked about him. Going to be hard to keep him off this roster, and him getting those first-team reps with Slay, with James Bradbury out, that's good, great sign. And Vontae Maddox was out there; he was looking good, had a good pass breakup I saw at one point. So I'm excited. The depth at corner, you guys have heard me talk about that extensively. Excited there. Kaylee Ringo and Greedy Williams with the second-team corner. So going to be tough to decide who's going to be on this 53-man roster, but we are loaded with depth everywhere, and now linebackers got depth too. But Terrell Edmonds played a little bit of big nickel. Speaking of linebackers, that linebacker/safety kind of hybrid role. We talk about what Sidney Brown could do, what Kayvon Wallace, Terrell Edmonds, all these guys have versatile skill sets. So that's what you're looking for. Kayvon Wallace was getting first-team reps again. So, this is what I'm talking about. You're looking for that. And a lot of people are like, oh, he's going to be a starter now. And it's like, no, dude, they're finding out if Kayvon Wallace, something happens, if he could step in and be that starter. He's not going to win a job over Edmonds or Sidney Brown. But if he could step in if need be, that's what they want to know. Can you provide somewhere? What do you look like after these few years with the first team? So they want to see that, man. And, if he's expendable, if you got guys, we talked about Mekhi Gardner, even there's guys in this mix that they're going to push other ones out. But Terrell Edmonds playing that big nickel, showing off his versatility. So we talk about those 3 safety sets, right? So you're going to have times where Reed Blankenship, Terrell Edmonds, and Sidney Brown are on the field at the same time. So you saw that last night even. I was pretty excited. So, yep. These guys are going to get tested out at these roles, and it's going to be awesome. But talked about Maddox. And then Ojomo got hit in the eye, so he walked off at one point. Those are the things I saw, but I'm sure I missed a lot. You guys can tell me if you were there. You have a good time. What did you see? Who do you like? I was losing my mind. I'm excited about all of it, man. I think that we're going to be, again, top 3 offense and defense, and I think we could be first in both of them. And that's not being a homer. I break it down, bro, how that's going to happen. So just throwing it out there. But let me get back to these comments. And sorry, dude, because that was just I needed to get to it, and I kept saying it. But Mariota's support throws, coverage on his receivers tend to be pretty tight, though. I can say for sure. So, look, and it's a good defense, and it's just a new system, so it's not really anything, to worry about. But yeah, he's definitely not a starter, so that's good, right? $100, the Eagles score rushing touchdown every game. Okay, 59. Yeah, man, we actually talked about that when that bet came out. Man, that feels like a while ago, and I remember everybody's like, jump on this. But glad that if that's still out, man, as I told you guys then, jump on it. I think, why not? And even if you just want to put $10 down, not get too far ahead of yourself, why not, dude? Put $1 down, put 50, whatever. Just that's something that with this rushing attack, Jalen Hurts, with these running backs, it seems like a no-brainer to me. Throw some money down on it. So I think it's a great idea there, Tevin. It's a great question. And, hey, I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but I'd do it. Do other teams GM move? No, nobody is Howie Roseman. And that is why I aspire to, try to be like him, try to even be better. I don't ever want to be like anyone. I try to take things from everybody and see the good things and, mold it into who I am. And like, okay, I like how he does this, but it's like, look, I'm always going to have my own flavor. And that's why I'm going to work with him, where it's like, look, this is where I can show you. I'm not a clone of you. I don't need to tell you what you know, but I see things. And luckily it seems that we're on the same page a lot of times. So that's how he's effing good. So I'm all about it, man, because I'm sitting here saying these are the perfect moves that I break it down. And then he's out there making them. And it's like, damn, like, not every GM could just sit there and be like, oh, yeah, I can get the best guy here. I could draft this guy. I could get Jalen Carter and not, you know what I mean? Like, that's impressive what he does, man. So just insane to see him. But I was thinking you had a better look firsthand. Yeah, man, they look like shit, Twisted. I'll be real with you. Those punters look like ass. So I still feel we should bring in a veteran, and now I definitely feel like we should bring in a punter. So, yeah, man, they Zentner looked like ass, dude. He was like shanking it. I don't know, but I was like, oh, shit. You guys know how I feel about that. Exactly, Linda. That's what I was talking about. There's going to be a whole added dimension to this offense that people aren't ready for. Just imagine being a defense. We have the best offensive line in the game, and then you got Jalen Hurts at quarterback. This is what I was trying to warn everyone last year. No, we could never make the Super Bowl. I'm telling them, yes, we are. Dude, think of this. Jalen Hurts. Now you've got either Penny, Kenny, Swift, then you got Goddard. And I'm leaving out the backups here, behind these other guys, but A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and then Quez, Alameda. Bro, they're not ready. They're not ready. And these running backs, now that added passing attack, night-night. Just imagine being a defense. So, yeah, and exactly. And it's funny when, you saw Parsons say something then like, oh, they didn't get anybody good. But he had to change his drawers after the Eagles, drafted Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. So he's a little bullshitter, dude. And you can see it out there, but he's also a weirdo. We'll just leave that at that. Locker room stories. Anyways, looking at Nolan, we talk about the comparisons to Hassan Reddick in the offseason. It's like, no, totally. And I said, I get it because he's got that 4.3 speed. They're like almost the same height and weight. I get the comparison, but to me, it was more like a Micah Parsons where you can use him. And then whenever I make comparisons like that, when I say something like that, it's compared to the skill set. It's not just who he's going to be. This guy's going to be. No. And again, as I said, I think Nolan Smith's going to be incredible. And I'm very happy he's Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll just say that. And Jalen Carter, too. So it's hilarious. He knows what's coming his way. Oh, Tiffany, he is. Yes, he is. And I got a lot of hate for praising the man the last few years. But don't worry. I got to actually praise him in person. So let's hope he remembers me. And I'm working for him soon. My man, Drew, let's go. Gave you a shout out. Talked about you a bunch at the beginning there. But hope you're doing well. Talked about how I played Text Wars with you. Tried to meet you. Tried to meet everyone. Didn't get to. I hate it. Drove home in a tsunami. If you notice when I stopped texting you, it was because I thought I was going to die. I was no longer able to. Well, we were taking shifts. We drove like 6 total hours. And she was getting a little tired. I was like, all right, I'm done trying to get the pictures together, whatever happened. And, from the posting the videos, whatever I was doing. And she doesn't like driving in the rain either, but it started like tsunami. So glad to see from you. Someone like ended up in a bad wreck, some fatalities on the same road I was on. So I was glad I started driving like Meemaw Jenkins there. So glad to see you made it safe. Hopefully everyone made it safe, but appreciate you, my man, Drew. I'm actually about to roll out of here. I said I was going to make this about 15 minutes in. Well, we're past 35. So God, yo, my man. And that is facts on facts on facts on facts. I could not agree more with you, my man. I apologize that two of my favorites here, Drew, Leaf, not to say that Linda, Liz, all the rest of you, Tiffany, Twisted, of course, my man, and all the rest of you. I can't remember everybody because I'm lost in here. Look, let's be real here. I'm surprised I even remembered any of you. But a lot of you are out here showing support, and I can't thank you enough. Put 25 on that score rushing. Hell yeah, let's go. I put Super Bowl bets down. I've got them all. I'm ready this year. You guys know when I talked about putting that one on us making it to the Super Bowl, I was so mad at myself that I didn't put more on the winning of the Super Bowl. And well, by the end, I guess I wasn't so mad. But we ain't running into that this year, baby. But let's go. Let's win some games. Let's win some money. Let's effing go Birds. Yeah, man, this whole team is stacked. You guys can check out all those breakdowns. This chair is so effing annoying. Defensive tackle depth, offensive line depth, bro. You guys, if any of you have missed any of these breakdowns of why I think we're going to break the sack record, why I think people are going to love this defense this year. Look, I know it's been tough understanding how it works the last couple of years for a lot of people in the media, but hey, man, they're going to have to get on board because this defense is going to eat souls. And they were, this is the worst defense. We can't get pressure. You got to blitz every play. We had 70 sacks. That's third in NFL history. We were the first team to ever have 4 players over 10-plus sacks. So while they were sleeping, I was watching this team break records, and I think they're going to break even more this season. Jot that down. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for you this evening. Truly appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Now, tomorrow, going to have an earlier video. This one is about a certain someone I wanted to talk about that's still out there because I know you guys still want to trade for players and add players. So I'm going to continue to talk about these guys, provide you with that content that you desire during sicko season. So if you could have picked up on why I'm doing that, we don't have practice tomorrow. It is a closed – well, they do, but it's closed, so you're not going to hear or see anything. It's a walkthrough. Be back on Monday. It's actually back-to-back. Wednesday and Thursday, we'll have training camp, day 8 and 9. I will give you all the practice notes, highlights, press conference notes, the recap, just like we've done every damn day for the training camp. And then Saturday is preseason. Now, in the preseason, I don't do it like I do in the regular season where you're getting a breakdown of the team. You're seeing their depth chart, their injuries for the week, everything they've got going on, what they did in the offseason, all that. That's not happening right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Not for preseason, but I will be doing the pregame like the day before, the breakdown stuff. So we'll be Friday, Fan Friday. I'll be breaking stuff down. Do not worry. We'll be getting ready for game day. I'll be there on game day. Let's go. Let's effing go. Not at the game. I meant like I'll be here live. Jesus. But look, I hope you're all having a great night. You can see I'm drifting off the sea here. This is video number 3. I hope you enjoyed. There's other 2 breakdowns of the roster moves we made. If you didn't see them, go check them out. Appreciate you checking them out, commenting, liking, all the things you're doing. Cannot thank you enough. If you got anything from this one, do me a favor, hit that like button. Always subscribe down below. Really can't thank you enough watching these numbers go up. You guys are awesome, man. Let's build this, baby. Let's take over and change the effing game. Let them keep hating. We'll keep educating. You little son of a bitches. I can't thank you enough. All you sickos out there. I love each and every one of you. Hope to see you tomorrow breaking down a certain someone. And the way I wanted to do it, there was actually like a whole trade show I wanted to do. If I have enough time, maybe I'll add that in there, or maybe I'll just pick my top 5. But you guys have so many players you ask me about. And look, I try to talk about them a lot, but I figure, why not give you a show? That way when you ask, I can, show you, hey, go to this one. Check this out. You want to talk about Jonathan Taylor? You want to talk about whatever it is? There's a show, man, whether it's going to happen or not. I will let you know my opinion on it. But I hope you all have yourselves a great night. If you need me, feel free to reach out. Whether it's to talk birds, you want to talk about life, you got something going on, need a friend. Always try to be here for you as you are for me. You are truly family to me. I love you all. I hope you're having a great night. But yeah, stay safe out there, especially with these effing tornadoes. It's going crazy out there. So stay safe, everyone. I love you all. Have a great night. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!